So I'm out here in Southern California, and I was just out here hiking around all these boulder piles in this kind of grassy sage scrub habitat, and I was walking along, and just right there on the rocks was this just beautiful Rosy Boa. This is a pretty big Rosy Boa. Most of the ones I find aren't this big, and normally around this time of year you usually find them on the rocks, but it's been pretty warm around here in Southern California, so it was just out and about, crawling on the rocks and stuff, so really cool to see. And I mean, I don't know if you can tell how big it is, but this is a pretty good sized Rosy Boa. Like I said, don't usually find them this big. This one's definitely big enough to where it's going down in the burrows and eating, the small rabbits and rats. It's really cool. Oh, scared her a little bit. She's okay. Normally I don't like to touch them too much, but these guys never stop moving, so I wouldn't really be able to get a good video if she was moving. I already felt this rock. It's not too hot yet, so it's not going to hurt her. The rocks are still pretty cool, but the sun is coming out. So I mean, just a really good sized Rosy Boa. Let me get her back here. It can be pretty common out in Southern California, especially in the coastal areas. You can find them pretty easily in some decent habitat. A lot of times when you come out here, you'll just see a ton of habitat destruction, unfortunately, where people just don't care to put the rocks back, or they just rip them off. They'll rip them off other rocks and just kind of damage the habitat. I don't know if it necessarily affects the snakes or their life, but it definitely makes it harder to observe them. These guys are also just a really cool snake to come out and see because they are just so mellow. The ones out in the wild just never bite. For some reason, the ones in captivity are bitey, even if they're born in captivity. From the ones that I've seen that have been taken from the wild and put into captivity, they remain docile, but for some reason, the captive bred Rosy Boas are just not as nice. But just beautiful example. Normally when they're this size, they have a lot more scarring and you'll see the end of their tail here. If I can show you. It's not too chewed up. It actually looks really good for a boa this size. But normally they're just really chewed up from the rats because, like I said, they'll go down into the burrows and, when the snake comes to try to eat the baby rabbits or even a rat, they don't just let them eat them. They'll fight back, and usually they have pretty bad scarring, but this one has both of its eyes. Just looks really good, really cool to see. I mean, just super healthy. This area was also burned recently, which people will say different things about it. I think that there's not a lot of fuel to burn, so I don't think the fires get very hot. I think for the most part a lot of the snakes just go into the rock piles and underground, and they survive. Obviously some of them will die, but this snake was definitely here before this fire and it survived. So really cool, really happy that it's doing so well. I mean, this really is a big one. I mean, normally they're not, I don't want to say normally they're not this big, but normally I don't find them this big. This one's probably, want to move her too much, but I'm just trying to get an estimate here. It's probably maybe a little over 3 feet. Really good adult, really nice, really cool to see. You just kind of show you. I'm just going to gently pick her up and show you some of the habitat here. So you'll just come out and you'll find them kind of in this type of rocky environment. Anywhere where there's rocks, really, in Southern California. It can be found where it's less rocky, but it's harder. to find them, less common. So I'll just, oh man, she's in my hat. Hat little strap here. Just getting her out. There we go. Really beautiful. Just trying to think if I missed anything that I should go over. Yeah, usually when I find them like in the winter or the early spring, you'll find them under rocks if there's moisture. If there's not a lot of moisture, we did get some big rains here, but the rocks underneath them they're not holding a lot of moisture. It's pretty dry under there, so I'm suspecting that we'll mainly be finding them out on the crawl. But as it gets really drier and a lot hotter, these guys pretty much switch over to being nocturnal, and you'll find them a lot more at night, either on the roads or on the trails or on the boulder piles or wherever, but mainly at night when it gets really hot, because it does get, in this area, it definitely gets over 100 some days in the summer, so they're not going to be out. They will definitely die in that heat very quickly. It's not so much the heat either, it's really the sun. They can be out when it's warm, but if the sun's just beating on them and it's hot, they're going to get dehydrated pretty quickly. So thankfully it's a nice, not too hot. It's like maybe 70 degrees. Not too bad right now. She'll be fine. Like I said, when I found this one, it was already out. Didn't flip anything to find it. I just walked up on it. So yeah, Rosy Boa, really cool. In these coastal areas, you'll see the pattern here is kind of, you can see the lines, but in the desert regions, the lines will be a lot more defined than these coastal ones. The coastal ones have a little bit more of the messy pattern, and the desert ones might also be brighter orange. And as you get into Arizona and Baja, they will even be like black and white with really, really clean lines, although that is a different subspecies, I believe. So still Rosy Boa, really similar, but they look a lot different. And the variability in these guys is just crazy. They can look all different kinds of patterns and colors. Definitely a favorite amongst herpers in Southern California. Really cool for kids, because they can hold them and they're not going to get bit. It's not like something they have to be scared of. I've never had a wild Rosy Boa try to strike me or anything. They're just so calm and beautiful. So if you ever decide you want to come out here and look for them, just, come out when it's, decently sunny. If it's sunny like this, you don't really have to flip anything. You can kind of just walk around and you'll see them. But if you ever come out, just be careful with their habitat, try to not disturb it too much. Make sure you put all your rocks back and don't leave it a mess, because it really does affect, the spot, and it'll be harder to find them in the future. Although you can collect the species, it's not protected or anything. It's just, I don't recommend it. There's, captive bred individuals out there that don't cost a lot of money, and you can just get a really nice animal captive bred without having to take one from the wild. And, there's just really no need for it anymore. There's a lot of breeders out there, these guys, that they're not expensive. So it's better just to leave the wild ones wild. Like I said, they just never stop moving. Once you take them out of wherever they're at, they're just going to keep on moving. Really, really healthy individual. It's been pretty slow today, but I'm going to keep going and see if there's anything else I can find. If I do, I'll let you know. for now. We're about 2 hours in. This is the only snake of the day, so I'm gonna get her back in her hole, not disturb her anymore. Or over by a rock, I should say, and just let her go on her way. So I just put that other one back, literally right there. And like 2 rocks later, under these guys, I found this other Rosy Boa. This one's a little smaller. Just want to get her down on the ground here. But just another really healthy adult. Should I get you guys a good view of her? Really, really nice, healthy adult. Like I said, literally just 2 rocks later, after I've been out here for hours. So sometimes it just happens like that. Really, really cool. So just want to show you guys this next one. And we're gonna keep looking. Hopefully we get some other stuff that's, besides boas. Although boas are cool, I'd like to see some other stuff too. Really cool. Alright, keep looking for the next one. Alright, so literally 20 seconds after putting the second boa back, I was about to walk through a different rock pile, and then here's this Red Diamond Rattlesnake. Obviously I'm not going to pick him up, but just there, sitting in his little home. So that's right here is where I found the first boa. Right over there is where I found the second boa. Walked over here, and here's this Red Diamond Rattlesnake. I'm trying to make sure I'm not sitting on one. It's like 3 snakes in 5 minutes. That's crazy. This must be a good pile. Let's see if I can see his head on the camera. Where's it at? I'm not sure if that's showing up, but there we go. You can see his head there now. These guys are so cool. Both boas and Red Diamond Rattlesnakes are pretty common out here in Southern California. Even if I had, the tools to grab this snake out of this bush, which I don't. These are a no-touch, no-take species here in Southern California. So that's mainly due to habitat destruction. All their habitat is being built on. So, in these areas of habitat that are just either haven't been built on or set aside, they're pretty common, but they used to be a lot more common. It's really cool. These guys get really big. This is like a medium-sized one here, but they get really big. Like they can eat jackrabbits and they're just, when you see one that big, I don't often see them that big, but it's impressive. This guy's just hanging out, just getting the morning sun. I guess it's like the afternoon right now, almost, but like I said, not too hot out today, so he'll probably be basking most of the day. Really cool. Alright, we'll keep going, see what else we can find. Alright, so I just moved over to this other rock pile, not too far from the other rock pile, maybe less than a quarter mile, so it's not too far away, but after around 10 minutes of looking or so, we got this other Red Diamond Rattlesnake. This one's a lot bigger. Not the biggest I've seen, but pretty big. Let me see if I can get a little closer. She's just chilling in the sun. This is probably about as close as I can get right here. Just look in there. I don't want to talk too loud because I don't want to freak her out. You can see her in there. It's beautiful. Beautiful big red diamond. A lot of people who don't do this, they ask me about it. They'll always ask me why I'm not scared of them. And I may be 3.5 feet away. You can see she's just totally calm. No interest in hurting me at all. And she definitely knows that I'm here. Very cool. See her nose right there, pointing right at me. Really pretty snake. Pretty good size one too. Really, really cool. Anyway, I'm gonna keep going to try to find something that's not a rattlesnake or a boa. Alright, so that pretty much wraps it up for today. I did end up seeing another red diamond under a rock, but I didn't want to pull my camera out and film it because I just had to put the rock back down and I didn't want to risk it getting hurt. So did see another one, just put the rock back gently, and yeah, that's pretty much it for today. 5 snakes in total, not bad for a couple hours, a few hours I guess. So yeah.